Welcome to our session. As we wait for our participants to join, we're going to just share a quick question, a survey, just to find out how familiar you are with studio or studio quizzes. So you should see that in front of you. So if you can help us to give us an idea of where you are when it comes to how familiar you are with Canvas Studio or studio quizzes, thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much for your help with that.
All right, that really helps us out a lot. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Please hold. All right, welcome everyone. We are here to teach you how to increase engagement with Canvas Studio and Studio Quizzes. My name is Teresa Magpayo Castro. And
I am Ricardo Recinos.
And we're both Tectosas from Hacienda La Puente Unified School District. We're in a team of 5. So we're so happy to be here. If you want to follow along with us, you can see our bit.ly over there at the top left, bit.ly/studio quizzes. Ricardo, do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. You also have the QR code, which will make it easier for you to get straight to that page. So we created a public Canvas page, and we can actually show you that right now, Teresa, if you want to show that. And in here, you'll find all of the resources that we are going to provide today. We have our presentation in there. You also have resources in here, along with info about us and a sample of a studio video and a studio quiz that we created. So you can see that. So again, we are a team from Hacienda La Puente, and you'll find our information right here. And again, this is open for anyone to see.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so we did turn on our closed captioning here, at least for part of our presentation through Microsoft. So let's go ahead and begin. So our objectives with you today is to explore the elements of Canvas Studio and to discover the capabilities of studio quizzes. And we don't want you to feel overwhelmed, so don't feel like you are going to be experts by the end of this 20-minute session. And don't feel limited to what we're sharing with you today, because there are so many options. We know you're going to come up with some amazing things, so don't feel like this is the only way to do things. These are just what we're familiar with, but of course you're going to do much more. So we're going to go ahead and get started right now. I'm going to go into the Canvas Studio section, and here's the purpose for Canvas Studio. We want to facilitate connections through a user-friendly interface. Our teachers are loving Canvas Studio because of how easy it is to use for them and also for the students. We have the ability to create curated digital collections of videos, which is really useful. And of course, ignite student engagement using visual media, which is both, again, for the students and the kids. Where can you actually find Canvas Studio? So if you are in Canvas right now, you will see Studio in your global navigation. If you don't see it, there's a chance that you do not have Canvas Studio. And we're still happy that you're here with us to learn more about it. And if you love it, you might want to talk to your district to talk about getting this for your district as well, because it's such an asset for us. So you can find it in the global navigation. You can also find it in your course navigation, in your rich content editor, and also the Studio site. Did you want to talk about that, Ricardo?
Sure. So in addition to being able to access Studio from Canvas directly, Canvas has provided a specific website, and it usually is your school's name. So for us, it will be hopschools.instructuremedia.com. And in there, it will take you to Studio, and you use the same Canvas login credentials to get into that Studio specific website.
And when you go there, you don't see anything else but the Studio. So you don't see the rest of your tools on the left. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go into Canvas Studio and we're going to do a demonstration for you. So here we go. So here I am. No, just kidding. Here I am. So So I'm actually in Canvas Studio, and the way I got there was from the global navigation on the left. I just clicked on Studio right there, and here is my library. So if you're following along with me, I'm going to go in order from the top left to right. I'm going to try my best. So if I lose you, that's the direction I'm going. Okay, Ricardo, please interrupt me at any time if I miss something. Okay, so at the very top left, we have the 3 lines, which I like to call the hamburger. You can go to your library, which shows all of your videos and all of your collections that you have. You can also go to the shared with me. And in here, you will see the collections and also the videos that were shared with you by other teachers, other people over here. So I just wanted to show you a quick thing before we move on. So for example, Ricardo shared this video of me with me. So I can go to that, the 3 dots, and I can copy it to my library, because everything that's in here is great. But if I want to keep it for myself, I would like to copy it to my library to make sure that I keep a copy for myself. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to stick it to my library, and that's great. And so same thing with collections. So I'm sharing this collection with our TK teachers. They're coming up with these great things, and it's great to be able to share these with one another. I can add something, they could add something, and we don't have to send them to each other. We just put them here in our collection. But if I want to keep it in my own library, again, I would have to go here and copy to my library. Okay, so we don't have to do that, but it's a great thing, because if they decide to delete something I want, then I won't be able to have access to it. Okay, so let me go ahead and get out of there. Go back to my library. If you notice, I have courses here, so I do have my course studio as well, but I'm gonna spend most of my time here in the library because I like to see everything in one place. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over here. Ricardo, I think some people requested the Canvas course link. So if you could put that
it's on the chat.
It is? Okay, thank you so much. All right, so right here you can filter by date added and name. So I know teachers, their collections, they have so much after a while, and so maybe you don't remember the names of things, you don't want to look for them. So putting them by date added is a great option, or you can put them by name. Okay, right here, view all. You can just view your collections, which has all your collections right here, or just your videos that are outside of the collections, or all of them. Okay, so those are just filters to help us view what we have. And over here at the right, we have the plus collection sign. And you've heard me say collections over and over, and I didn't really even talk about what it was. So in essence, what a collection is, it's just a folder that contains your different videos, and so you can organize them in different ways, just for yourself, to help you find them easily and use them easily. So I'm just going to create one right now since I'm already here. I'm going to create Mars rover. I know a lot of people have been talking about that today because the Perseverance rover landing is in about an hour or 2, right? So let's just make one right here. So I just created a new collection. So when you go into a collection that's empty, you can add a video by just clicking on the blue the blue rectangle right here. It's only going to show you on the first time you add a video. So I could simply, since I'm here, I'm just going to show it to you already. I found a video relating to that. Oops, let me pause it. I just paste it right here, add it, and there it is. So that is now in that collection. Okay, and if you want to add more to this collection while you're inside, you can add up here, but I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Okay.
And just to add, Teresa, so we
Sure.
know that you can add a video using the YouTube tool in the Rich Content Editor, but what a great tool to have a collection already, so you can use year to year instead of having to find those videos every time that you're trying to add them. So by creating a collection, it makes it easier instead of having to add a YouTube video in the Rich Content Editor through the YouTube tool.
Yes, and Ricardo, can you share with them the great reason why we want to do it through Studio instead of, what
Yes, right. So we all have our kids, and then when we share a YouTube video, we all are always concerned with those announcements or those commercials that come up before or after in a YouTube video. So by doing it this way, it's just the YouTube video that we are seeing.
Thank you. Yeah, because I know a lot of teachers are concerned with those additional suggested videos and things like that. So this is a great, great option for them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on now. So you can see my collections. They have the 4 boxes, so you know that that's a collection, and these are standalone videos right here. So I'm just going to go into the collections. So whenever you're lost in here, which may not happen to you, but it happens to me sometimes, I just look for the little things that help me, like these 3 dots right here. Some of us like to call this a snowman, these 3 dots. So if I click on that on a collection, I can share this collection with someone. So I can find someone by name. I'm just going to look for Ricardo right here. and I can give him the ability to view or to edit. So he can also add videos of his own, and then I could simply, I trust him for now, so I'm just kidding. I trust him completely. So I'm going to update that. So now he has access to this video, and he could add things and I could add things, and instead of sending it to each other one by one, we can just put it in our collection. Okay.
And just to add to that too, if you go ahead and go to share again, Teresa, you also have the ability to do something pretty incredible. Go ahead and go share just one video. You can go back to it instead of the whole collection. Just go to one video. So notice that you also can do links. So you can actually create a public link. So let's go ahead and create a public link for this particular video. Go ahead and click create public link. And now you have the link, but also the embed code. So now you have the ability to embed this outside anywhere. Okay?
Perfect. So Ricardo, you just read my mind right now. So I'm about to get that in a moment, but I'm glad you covered it. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to over here. So sharing collections, you can rename it if you need to. You can delete it. Hopefully you don't have to, but you can if you want. And if we actually go into the collections, we see your videos in here. Same types of options. Again, look for those 3 dots. Look for the hamburgers. Those will really help you out. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So now since Ricardo mentioned it, I'm going to go to a single video right here. And I could do this inside of a collection or outside like I am right now. So I click on the 3 dots. So this video, I can actually add a quiz. You can see I already have one, so I could edit a quiz that I've already created, or I can add one, and Ricardo's going to go into that in a moment. Shared media, like Ricardo said, the link, and also people, the same thing what we showed you just a moment ago. You can also move it too. So you can see that this is kind of hanging out in my library, has nowhere to go, a little bit lost. I can move it to a collection if I want. So I can click on that and I could select a collection. Let's just put in training. And you see these little people over here on the left. That means that it's a collection that you're sharing with someone. So just so that you're aware, when you put it in there, other people are going to see it. Okay, so now I just moved it somewhere else right here. All right. Okay, so let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. And replace thumbnail. So if you're not satisfied with the picture that's there, I might want to do that. You can change your thumbnail, and again, you can also delete it. Okay. Before I get to the fun part, let me, Ricardo, I'm sorry, I'm not kind of taking up quite a bit of time here, but let me just go through this very quickly. So if you click on a video, you have some options here, and I'm going to go through this fast. You can share, just like earlier. You can download it. You could throw it in the trash if you want. Hopefully not, but you can. Over here, you have your options, your playback speed. You can turn comments on and off, so it's up to you if you want the students to be able to comment, or if you want to put comments as well. Your closed captioning, your media quality, etc. Okay, down here you have the details. You can edit the name, etc. Comments. So if you have that on, you can also subscribe to comments so that you're informed when you get new comments. You can also you can get notified of replies if you want. You can choose a different timestamp. So you can choose there, and then now your comment will show up at that timestamp. Okay, so you have some options there. Insights is great because you could see who's actually watching your video. Oh, great, I chose a video with no insight. So it will show you by the minute or even seconds how many people are actually viewing your video. Okay, and your captioning right here. This one already has captions. So I'm just going to show that to you. So I selected English. Actually, let me go back. I'm just kidding. I lost that one. Oh, here it is. I'm going to go into that one just so that you see. If you want your captions, oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. If you want captions, you simply caption request right here, English. Request it, and it takes some time. You can choose other languages, or if you spoke in English and you want it to show up in Spanish, you would have to upload that, for example. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my library and just show you what that looks like. Since I've already processed it here, I can edit that, and you can see, I mean, I have a tendency to mumble, so I can go in and I can fix that if I need to. Okay, all right, let me go ahead and go to the next part. So you could search here. You can add just like what we showed you with your YouTube URL, and you could browse files and you could drop them in from your computer. And also, Ricardo, do I have time to do this really quick?
You can probably, yeah, try really quick, go.
Okay, so you can webcam capture, which is yourself, or you can screen capture. You need to, if you haven't installed it, it's going to ask you to install something. Go ahead and install it. And so you can see right here, these are different settings. You can record your screen. You can choose the size. You can move this around so you're actually selecting what you're recording. Narration, also computer audio, which is not available if you don't have this version. You can record, and Ricardo, I promised I would be done with this. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, and then you have other options. I'm not going to go into them too much because I don't want to steal too much of his time, but if we have more time, I'll go back to it at the end, okay? Thank you so much, Ricardo. I'm going to let you take over.
Sure, and just to add to that ability to record and also to capture, okay? A great tool that we might not be aware is that you do have a Studio Canvas app for teachers, or sorry, a Canvas app for teachers. And if I go in there, I just want to show you that if I open that Canvas teacher app, I actually have Studio in my hand. So maybe I'm outside, I went out, I don't know, and then all of a sudden I find a very teachable moment of something. Maybe I'm at the beach and I want to record the typo. I can come in here and I can click on it, and notice the Studio is always available on my mobile device. And I can just click on it and I can go ahead and hit record, and I can be able to use my webcam to capture that right there. Kind of a great tool to have in your hands at all times. Okay, we're gonna move on now, and we're gonna move on now to our Studio quiz part. And then let me talk about the purpose of why you will want to use Studio video quizzes. Obviously, you can use it to emphasize details in the video. You can create an active learning environment. So instead of having passive learners, now you have active learners. And finally, you can also use it as an actual assessment that will go into the gradebook. Okay. Where can we find Studio and Studio quizzes? So I can embed a Studio video quiz anywhere that has the rich content editor. So assignments, discussions, and pages. And notice up here, when we see it, we'll see that your Canvas admin team has the ability to actually add the icon for Studio instead of having to go into the plug. And if I wanted to use it as a formal assessment, I can actually use that video quiz as an external tool to assign it. So let's go ahead and go and try to create a quiz and show you what that looks like, okay? So let me get out of here really quick. We're gonna go to our page, and this is a sample of a quiz right now, and I know we're gonna run out of time, but I wanted to show you what it looks like, okay? Just really, really quick so you get an idea of what a quiz looks like. So let me turn the volume on this, and I'm going to just resume the quiz, just really quick, and I want you to see that we have pointers that are telling our students where the questions are. So I'm just gonna forward, and I'm going to just play the video. And I don't think you can hear the audio, unfortunately, but she said, is dog a noun or a verb? And the question will come up, and our kids have the option to rewatch or continue with the quiz. And as they continue, the video will keep playing. And I don't know why the sound's not working right now, but we'll play it at the end so you can see it. But how do we create a quiz? Okay, so I'm going to go to Studio. And in here, I have my collections and also my videos. You'll notice that some of my videos have a rocket ship right on the top right corner. That is the symbol for a quiz in Canvas. So that tells me that I've created a quiz with this particular video. You are not limited to creating just one quiz. So think about maybe you need to differentiate for your students. Maybe you have a student that is at a higher reading level than another one. So you can create more than one quiz with the same video, okay? So I'm going to go to this particular video, and I'm going to go to the snowman. And again, I have a quiz, but I want to create a new quiz, okay? So I'm going to go into add a new quiz, okay? When I do that, it gives me the option to put a name. So I'm just gonna call it test just for today, okay? I can also give a description for the quiz, okay? So maybe I go here and say, please watch our present progressive or nouns video. No? And also, this is a very important option right here. By default, you have the pointers of where the questions are on the quiz when you create the quiz, like you saw it when I showed you that quiz. I actually like to hide those markers, okay? As a high school teacher, I've experienced that when my kids can see the markers, they automatically jump to the markers and they don't watch the entire quiz. So for me, I like to have it hidden so the kids don't know where the questions are, and that forces them to watch the entire video. I also like to add a question at the end to make sure that they actually watch the entire video. So I'm going to hide my markers, okay? In this case. So I'm going to go into my video. So by default, it opens the video, and notice that I have a plus, okay? So if I wanted to add a question at the beginning, I could, but I'm just going to play the video. And unfortunately, we don't have sound, but I'm gonna play it. And maybe at 22, I want to add a question, okay? So let me see if over here, I go to my marker on 22 and I hit on the plus, And now I have the option to add a multiple choice, a true or false, or a multiple answer. Those are the type of questions that are available now. Canvas always keeps adding different features, so we might have other different type of questions in the future, but that's what we have now. So I'm going to add in here, maybe I want to add a multiple answer, okay? So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to type a question. So my question is, what do nouns mean? Okay, and then it's a multiple answer. So I'm going to put my answers in here, and I'm going to go with a person, a place, and add more answers, a thing, idea, right? Because I'm having more than one answer as my correct answers, multiple answers. So I want to make sure that those are all options, and maybe I want to add a answer that is incorrect, and I'm going to type action. Okay. Now, in addition, I can shuffle the options right here. So if I can shuffle the choices, it would just shuffle the questions right there. I also have the ability to add feedback. So for a correct answer, I can say good job, maybe, right? For incorrect answer, if I'm just using this for engagement, I can say please rewatch and try again. And I can also provide general feedback on here. I typed that wrong, obviously. And I will save that question, okay? So I've gotten the first question. Maybe I'm gonna continue my video playing. And I wish you could hear it. Maybe you can if I do this.
In Spanish, unlike in English, all nouns have gender. That is,
I want to add a question right here. So I can click on it. And now I want to add a true or false question. Okay, and then my question now becomes, let's take this one. In Spanish, all nouns have gender. Okay, and then true or false, and then true. And I can do the same thing with our feedback, and I'm going to add that question. And then we'll continue playing the video.
They are either masculine or feminine.
And maybe I want to skip all the way over here, pause, and add another question. And now I'm going to do the multiple choice. Okay, so I'll type my question in here, and I can say pick the correct feminine noun, if that was the question that I wanted to ask. And notice that by default, the first option is always the correct answer, okay? As a high school teacher, I'm always in a hurry, and I don't have the time to go in here and type the answers. So I'm just going to type my answers right now. El hombre. Okay, I don't want to go in here and have to switch the answer to the correct answer. So I always like to put the answer on top where the correct already is. So actually, la mujer will go right here, okay? I will go el hombre. El hombre, let me change that one. And I can probably put in here el turista if I wanted to in Spanish, right? And I can keep adding, okay? The reason why I don't worry about it is because I have the option to shuffle choices, okay? So by clicking here, it's going to shuffle, so that's not gonna be the answer on top always, okay? So it's going to shuffle, but for me, it made it easier to know that my correct answer always goes on top. Teresa, did you wanna add to this?
No, I think we're going to have to wrap it up soon. So I love the direction you're going. Keep going. But you're going to have to wrap it up.
We talked about the question feedback already. You also have the ability to vary points by answer. So maybe, you know, la mujer is the correct answer, but maybe you cover something else where this could have been considered correct. So you could also maybe give 1 point for that particular question. And then we're going to save it. And then you continue. And then best practice, like I said, I like to add a question at the end. And just a random question, what's the date today? Or is it Thursday? Just to make sure that the kids get to the end and watch the actual quiz, okay? When I'm done with that, I just go done and it creates the quiz. But now we actually want to show you what that looks like from the student's point of view and how you will get it to the students, because I know I'm running out of time. So you can do it 2 ways. You can go to one of your courses. And if you wanted to just do it as an engagement, you can do it on a page, on a discussion, on an assignment, and I would just go in there and I would just go to add it on a page, okay? I will give it a name, okay? Because it's just an engagement tool, I'm going to add it through the rich content editor. Notice that I have the studio available here for me because I set it up this way, and studio is gonna be there, and it's going to show my rocket ship. I can click on it, and then notice that I have the ability to add the video, but I'm doing the quiz, actually. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to embed, and the quiz is going to come in here. So if I do it this way, remember, it's just an engagement tool. It's not going to get into the gradebook, okay? If you wanted to get it in the gradebook, you will go to assignments. I'm going to leave that. Okay, let's go to assignments. I will create a new assignment. Okay, and now, because I wanted to go into my gradebook, I could give instructions on the rich content editor. I will give the points. Maybe it was worth 5 points. Okay, maybe I have an assignment group, but now I want to use an external tool to get it to my students. Okay, I'm going to pick external tool. I'm going to find it, and now we are going to look for our studio. Okay, it's going to open. And now what I want you to see is that I'm going to pick that quiz. Okay, video quiz, and let's embed it. And then let's select. And then let me just give it a name. I give it a name, and now I can give a due date if I want to. I'm going to save and publish. But what I want you to see is that now that I created that assignment, if I go to grades, that assignment is going to be right there for us to have in our gradebook, okay? I know we're running out of time. I just wanted to mention one more thing. When you, as a teacher, look at that quiz that you're given, you actually have some really good tools down here, okay? So details that Teresa talked about, insights, captions, but notice that I have quiz results, okay? So I can see over here by item analysis. So maybe I can go check and see, oh, guess what? This question that just didn't work. My students did not get the point. Let me go back and reteach this. So I can come and see and look at these tools and say, okay, I'm gonna go and reteach that, or my kids are grasping the concept, so I can move on. I can also see these results by student if I wanted to. So I know I went really fast, and that was a really, really fast part of Studio, but I wanted to make sure that you saw everything, okay? Teresa, go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. I know the next session is about to start, so feel free to go. Ricardo and I will hang out a little bit here, but we want to be respectful of the next who are speaking, so feel free. But thank you so much for joining us. That was a lot of information. But you can find more information, and you can contact us as well through the bit.ly that we shared earlier. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's like